It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.
Hello, model citizens. Welcome to Humanity Junction. Tonight on Trains and Tech, we are going to do a little bit of paint color testing. We're going to see if we could figure out the second color to go along with my Riverside Transfer green, my Human City Junction green, whatever you want to call that green. It's not angel green. We're gonna find a color to match it. If you guys haven't noticed it yet, the countdown wasn't playing during the intro, and I had the wrong thumbnails in there, so I do have to warn people. I don't know how tonight's show is going to go, but something tells me this is gonna be an interesting show. So I hope everyone's having a great week. It's been interesting. I don't know what's going on. I'm a little, a little frazzled, a little out of it. It's a little warm in here, actually. I'm gonna turn the air conditioner on, and it's kind of cool here in New York City right now, but it still doesn't hurt to have the air conditioner. I didn't realize how blown out the background was going to be over there. You can see it's really blown out. Let's see if I can fix that real quick while without annoying everybody. So let's see if that helps at all. Yeah, it's a little better. Dim the background, so we should be all good and happy. People were complaining last week that my overhead camera was a little too wide, so I've tightened it up. These are the cars from last week, and I do have some wheels that I got for these cars. So I thought one thing I can try and do is see if the holes that were drilled or printed on the 3D printer are close enough to be able to mount these trucks, which I'm not completely optimistic, but I figure I figure that's worth a try. I got some colors over here, got different things going on, and you know, that's about the extent of it. I don't know where my cursor is right now. I'm trying to find my cursor so that I can click on something, but my cursor has, there we go. I was trying to click on Jeb's comment about his wife, but Lynn says we can see the cars better than last week. That's good. Let's see if we can, just for fun, just because I want to, let's see if I can get some N-scale Barber roller bearing trucks mounted onto one of these 3D printed cars that Cameron from Caboose 121 made for me, and go from there. Yeah, this is the thumbnail in the slideshow was wrong. Today we're gonna do some color testing and maybe mount some trucks and maybe talk about some turnout motors again, because I've been doing some wire testing, and so far things have been fairly successful. So I've been pretty happy with how that's going. These are medium shank, I believe. Yep, medium extension, and I just need to find one of the little things that are hopefully going to fit and hopefully going to work with this. So let's see. Hey, wow, this is 3D printed, and it looks like this hole is gonna fit. Yes, I will need to measure the diameter of the wheels. I'm not going to actually use these wheels. I am going to swap them out for some metal wheels, and the reason I'm going to do that is because then I can just read right off of the package what the wheel size is, and theoretically I will have, I believe, better results than me actually measuring these wheels. But let's see if I can get this on here. Hopefully I'm holding this kind of in the right way. So if people don't know, this is a 3D printed flat car, and what it's going to do is it's going to hold what's called a purple hat, which is a board that I'm going to use to help me speed match my locomotives. And this flat car will hold the board sits up on this side, and the control thing sits on that side. And that worked much better than I expected. So hey, all of those bad false starts in the beginning, things seem to be going much better now. So I guess that's good. It looks like the one I'm using is smaller than the other option, which seems to be good. Yeah, Andy, it's called a purple hat. I would pull it out, but I don't remember where I put it. I think I know where it is, but it might take me longer than we all have tonight to find it. I've started bringing stuff back into the room, but what's kind of happening is it's creating a little bit of a mess in here, and I can't get to stuff anymore as well as I could when there wasn't stuff in here, which I guess makes sense. But I needed to bring some of this stuff up so that I could start testing things like last week when I looked for that power supply and eventually found that power supply. But yeah, so that worked out pretty well. got those all mounted up, and we got one car ready to go. Both of those cars will have the same exact, oh, look at that. How did I know exactly where it was? Both of those cars are for the same purple hat unit. The purple hat is this board here. This is an M5 IOTT stick, and this will theoretically slide in here. And I've got, I haven't, there's a magnet that you need to mount and some other stuff, so I don't want to take this tape off, and the tape is kind of blocking the ability for me to slide it in there. But that's what it's going to look like, and you just you pull this behind your locomotive, and using JMRI, it'll create a speed table for you, and you just upload that speed table to the locomotive, and you do that with all your locomotives, and you get a bunch of speed matched locomotives. Not a fedora. That the purple hats, they might be too. Don't pull out any purple hats. Yeah, we did, and nobody got hurt. So this one, the difference between these two is, if you notice, this one, it puts it at an angle, and this one here is for mounting it straight. But to mount it straight, what you have to do is cut the board and make a modification to the board. So I probably won't do that. I will probably just use this one, because I know my soldering skills, and if I just use this one, I know I have a much better chance of getting it to work than if I use the other ones. I found I needed to add an external battery. I'm kind of slow. Yeah, you can plug a battery into the back of it here, or there's a cable, I believe you can plug it into here as well and connect it up. It should just work off of like any of those 5-volt like batteries that you use to charge your phone, like the little like tube, little small ones that you can get. So that probably works best, and you could just put an extra flat car off the back, or there's probably some way, I don't know. I think, Mike, if I'm not mistaken, you found a way to balance it or put it on the one flat car. But yeah, an extra battery definitely comes in handy as well. Okay, good to see everybody here. Has anybody, I guess I should check this. You know what I haven't looked at yet? Where is it? How do I get to it? Right here. So, okay, so I've got a poll running, and the point of the poll is that I'm going to do a paint color test, and I've got these two options of gray, and we're going to see which one of these goes best with this. But in order to do that test, which we're going to do in a little bit, or in order to answer the poll, you have to wait until we finish the test. So I was kind of curious to see how many people voted on the poll, and so far there are 27 people. 27 people voted on the poll, but yet we haven't actually done the color test. So what I'll probably do is cancel that poll at some point and make people vote again. But we'll see. We'll see. Jerry, I could start over. I definitely could start over. Joey already knows what color. I know, Joey, I know you tested XF19. Did you check or test XF16 as well? Nathan Delia wants to know, Heath, correct me if I'm wrong, but are you asking a manufacturer to make special cars for you to sell with your YouTube logo? I am not, I'm not working with a manufacturer. What I did do is I had some decals made, and actually Joey did a rendering of the Boxcar. So I took this rendering and sent it off, and we got some decals made, and I know what the green color is that I want to use, but I don't know what the gray color is that I want to use for that. So that's one of the things that I hope to decide on, would be what the green is and what the gray is. And then I can tell people what the green and gray are, and if they want to make their own Human City Junction cars, we can work out. We can work something out and get you some decals, and yeah. So the idea is, of these box cars, the New York Central had their pacemaker box cars, and the story behind my layout, if I've haven't said it 500,000 times, is that the New York Central sold off its car float and its West Side branch line, essentially the whole West Side Yard, and the Human City Junction leasing company purchased it, and they set up a railroad called the Riverside Transfer to run the yard. So the pacemaker fast freight cars from New York Central, the 40-footers, were a lot of the cars that they could get cheap. So they wanted to keep the fast freight service going for people that still wanted the fast freight service, but they, obviously decided to spend all of the money to repaint them, because that's what I did. Andy, I don't have any in O scale right now, but if you want some in O scale, we can talk about that. Joey, if you with the large version of fast freight in green instead of just white, we can. Oh, I see what you're saying. Joey, anything's possible. It's not that expensive to have them edit stuff and get reprints. So we could change things around. It's all it's all good. So Thomas, where I got the purple hat. There's a guy named Hans Tanner. His YouTube channel is called IOTT. It's like Internet of Trains or something like that. If somebody knows, if someone knows what I'm talking about, please post up the link. But yeah, Hans Tanner has a Tyndall store, Tindle. If you go to, I think it's Tyndall, oh, there you go, Internet of Toy Trains. So if you go to his Tyndall store, you can purchase the M5, and then you could purchase a bunch of different hats. He's got a brown hat and an orange hat and a purple hat, and they all do slightly different things, but mostly all related to some sort of train stuff. So yeah, it's pretty good. It's all pretty good. Thanks. So some people like the design. Russ says he doesn't like boxcars, but he likes the design. So yeah, I think Joey did a really good job on this design. We went back and forth a lot. He gave me like 8 different versions or something. This was the last one that he made. So it's kind of the one that we've based things off of. One of the jokes was the 404 error. So that the joke of this was that it's number 404. The car numbers on the decals are based on the New York Central color scheme, or not a color scheme, the New York Central car numbers. So I took the car numbers of the New York Central, and they sort of had like a pattern to them if you look at the list, and I just kind of went up to the next set of numbers. So I got, I think, 16 different numbers, and my goal for my layout is to do a series of 16 cars, which would be 2 trains full of cars. And then those would be the main cars used to switch the yard behind me. I've actually been doing a bunch of work back here. I think I showed this the other day, but I have the turnouts marked out, and I've been adding in some. I've got these I got these acrylic rods that I cut up into little tiny pieces, and I've been making holes and gluing them into the where the rails of the track are gonna go. And I actually have a video coming out on Thursday that's gonna show kind of my testing of the turnout motor. Barry, reach out to me if you want decals, and we'll figure something out. But yeah, thanks, Nathan. You're gonna give all of us one of your cars? I don't know about that. 16 cars. That's one train in O scale. 16. Well, 8 cars. 8 40-foot box cars is 30 inches. And the car float that I'm planning to use has 2 15-inch tracks on it. So you can fit 4 40-foot box cars on each track, totaling 30 inches. With some locomotives, that gets you up to like 40 or 42 inches, depending on the size of the locomotives. So all of the layout has been based around a 40-foot a train of 8 40-foot boxcars with 2 locomotives. So all the yard tracks, all the everything, all the yard leads and all that is based on that length of trains. Of course, Marty's saying it's warm and sunny because it's we're heading into New York here, in New York here we're heading into fall. And it's getting colder, but Marty's heading into spring, so it's only getting warmer from there. Are you talking about the Model Tech track aligners? I like those. Nathan, I don't know. I got to see if I can make it, but I do know you're doing that. You're trying to do another meet and greet in March. I am still trying to get through October, which coming up is the NER convention, October 5th through 8th out in Long Island, and I'm very excited. I get to operate on a bunch of layouts, and I'm really excited about that. And I am what else am I doing? January, I'm planning to go to Amherst. October 18th, if you mark it in your calendar, I'm going to be co-hosting the TSG Multimedia monthly show that he does on Wednesday nights. In March, I'm going to be hosting a panel for NERX, doing a bunch of different things. Marty says, looks like a bit of change since I was here last. Yes, things have changed a lot. The bench work is in, and we are installing. Well, we're not installing quite yet. I need to get the LEDs in first because some of the LEDs wind up under where these need to mount. So I'm going to put the LEDs in first, and then this will get mounted on underneath that, wired up, and moving along. So yeah, I showed some of the control panels the other day. I got to do a little more stuff. This is N scale. Marty's coming to Amherst. Amherst is a fantastic show. If you can make it out to Amherst, it is. I wish there were like op sessions that you can go to, but outside of that, the Amherst show is fantastic. I've just gotten so into operations lately. I can't stop. I can't stop thinking about it. This is the exact same room, just much more designed around having a layout installed in the room. So I keep forgetting. I got like cables run in weird places. I gotta fix some of that stuff up. But yeah, it's same room but different configuration. Everything in this room is now based around the layout instead of it all being based around the desk that used to be in here. Thomas, it would be great if you can get out there. When is Minrail? What weekend? Minrail's in the fall? Isn't it too cold to do Minrail in the fall? I don't really know. what some conversation going on here. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, Jerry helped doing a lot of the cutting, and I've been doing a bunch of the modifying. I love this area right here where I cut in the car float. I still just really enjoy seeing this. And this is actually the first area that I'm gonna wire up. So I've got the acrylic rods in here. I want to sand these holes before I put the switch motors in them. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to sand these holes, and yeah, get it done. Get it done. We'll get it done eventually. Let's see. What's a good time to make hotel reservations for Amherst? The sooner the better. Amherst basically, fills all the hotels up there. So, yeah, exactly. Andy, I paid all of that ridiculous amount of money to go to the NER convention just to operate on the layouts. But it's pretty cool because like Gordy's coming over, and I'm going to get to operate on a layout with Gordy because he's coming out as well. Yeah, James, funny you say that. I was trying to do that earlier today, and I massively failed. I need to just use, this is the sandpaper from the orbital sander. I need to just use regular sandpaper, but I was trying. It's up on the border between New York and Massachusetts, so it's about 2.5 hours north of here. I just take Amtrak up, and it is nice to go. You don't need to make them a year in advance, but yeah. I probably won't be going to Maryland because I'm going to the NER convention, so that's the NER convention is taking up a lot of my travel money for the rest of this year. So my next trip is very likely just going to be to Amherst, and I gotta finish this layout because I am kind of hoping, and I've already had one person threaten to come down. Oh, Connecticut and Massachusetts. I was close. New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Massachusetts. It's all the same thing. Somebody has threatened that they might come up to Amherst and then swing by to check out my layout. So I would love to actually have a train running, which I feel like 4 months should be plenty of time to get a train running on this track. But when I think about all the stuff that needs to be done, 4 months doesn't seem that long. So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I stay at the Sheraton. The reason I use the Sheraton is it's kind of the main hotel for the show. I can walk to the hotel from the Amtrak station, and they have shuttles that go from that hotel to the show. So it just works out really well to stay at that hotel. That's where I've stayed. That's kind of where I stayed. Joey, you should come to visit. Even if it's 2 to 3 years away, come visit for a weekend or something. Uh-oh. We'll see. Marty, I think too, a lot of the people that come in internationally will fly into New York, or into Newark Airport. I think Marty actually flew into and then took the Amtrak train up as well. So it should be interesting. I do want to show something that I'm actually surprised I was waiting to see if anybody saw it and asked about it, because that's kind of how vain I am, that I think people are going to like see something that I show and be like, oh, that's interesting. What is that? But nobody called it out yet. Yeah. So Andy, I actually looked, there's a Sheraton on one side and there's a Marriott on the other side. And I looked at the pricing of the Marriott, and it's not that much more expensive, but it was more expensive enough that I decided I'm just going to stay at the Sheraton. A lot of people stay at the Hampton Inn, which is a cheaper option, but I think there is a shuttle that runs to one of the Hampton Inns, but I don't really know. But anyway, back to my my vanity. When I showed this and we were looking at the car down here, nobody said, "Hey, what's that? What's that at the top there, Heath? What are you working on up there?" James, are you saying that we should that I should sleep on a park bench? I will be at your place on the Wednesday after Springfield. Okay, that'll give me some time to get it worked out. You want a park bench, James? I'm very confused. Yeah, if anybody's trying to get up to Amherst and wants to split a hotel, Split Rock is considering splitting a hotel. So if you that might be an option. Oh, Joey thought it was my desktop background. No, my desktop background is actually my logo is actually the background. But so what this is I have been working with Bill Brown from Lark Products. I have a video where he talked about his stuff, but Bill is the chair for the what's it called? The AP program for the NER. So I met him through that, but he also has Lark Products. John from 2618 has been working with him as well. And I was like, let me check it out. Let me see how it goes. So I have this big area here that will need a background at some point, but I decided to start off a little smaller. This side of the room over here has 112 inches of background. So 112 by 18. So I thought I would start over there. And the way this track plan is laid out, I don't have the track plan pulled up, but the way the track plan is laid out is this here is there's, what do you call it? Staging. There's a classification yard on this part of it, and then right here I've got a single siding for an industry, and then it kind of goes off. It actually runs out in front of the window, so it's kind of like runs into nature. So I thank you, John. That's too funny. So what I talked to Bill Brown about doing was he took, let's see, I think there's 4 or 5 different images here. The background clouds is one image. This here is, I'm totally forgetting the name now. It's northeast up the Hudson River a little bit. So there's water in the foreground with buildings and stuff in the background. I realize I got my cursor in the wrong spot, but we can zoom in here. So this is where it starts. So this is what's going to be behind the staging. So the staging will look like it's on this side of the river and all this other stuff. No, it's not Yonkers. It starts with an A. I forget what it is, but oh no, yeah. I think it's Weehawken. I think you're right. I think it's Weehawken. Yes, it's Weehawken. So this is Weehawken, I think. So it's the New Jersey side of the river. So we're on the New York side. This is the New Jersey side of the river. And then what he did was this. Oh, these trees is actually a whole nother image. And then this, sorry. The Domino's building here is a whole nother image. So if people don't know, I've got a couple Domino's cars and I wanted to do a Domino's on my layout. The bridge was a giveaway. There you go. John, he'll do anything. He'll make them in any scale you want. So I think he can print up to 36 inches by however long you want. So, as big of a layout as you want can do that. Yeah, John's backgrounds look fantastic. The way he has blended the background into the foreground. So that's kind of the goal here, is that, and I'm on the wrong thing. I'm trying to move it. So that's the goal here, is to kind of like make it look like I'm on the other side of the river, and then when you get here, make it look like, the trains are kind of going into a cut, and the trees are against the edge of the river. And then there's the industry, which I've got the single industry track for the Domino sugar plant. And then there's also this abandoned industry as well, as it turns all to, your northeast autumn trees. And then the window is on the other side. So this is 112 by 18 inches. And that's going to be what's going to be behind. So unfortunately, if we look at this side, right? So I didn't get a background for back here, which is the thing everybody could see. I got a background for the side that nobody can see, which I know is kind of silly, but I wanted to see it and kind of figure it out from there. Yeah, oh, that's the wrong one. Yeah, Jason the Train Freak used Train Junkie. So Jason used Train Junkie. I'm using Lark Products, and the reason I went with Lark Products is just because of the Photoshop stuff that he does, and the way he combines all of the different images to make the one longer one. I didn't want to do like a lot of pieces that I kind of had to piece together. I wanted something where I could show travel, show like things changing, and I'm looking at, sorry, I'm very distracted because I'm looking at what this looks like, what you're seeing versus what I'm seeing, and I didn't realize what you're seeing, I look very red. So I adjusted the color temperature of my camera, and I set it to a fixed color, and I did it what looks good on this monitor here. I didn't think that I should check what it looks like on YouTube. So it doesn't look as good on YouTube. I need to fix that. Sorry, see, I get distracted. Yeah, Jason, the Sidetrack Sunday guys are on a chat together, so we go back and forth. Joey, you 100% know that you would be fixing, if you knew the color temperature was off, you would be fixing the color temperature. I know you well enough to know that you would absolutely be fixing that. So yeah, exactly. I just made the mistake that I used the wrong monitor. I used this monitor, which is like a $100 cheap little monitor, as opposed to using one of my nicer monitors. And then this is what you get when you play fast and loose. No, Nathan. So Domino sugar. If you look at sugar packages, that when you go to like a diner or something like that, a lot of them are made by Domino Sugar Company. And Domino Sugars used to have a big plant over in Brooklyn. There was also one upstate a little bit. There's a couple big ones. I'm not actually sure. The one that's in the background, I'm not exactly sure where that one is. It's not the Brooklyn one. It's one of the other ones. But yeah, so Domino is still around, but there's a big one in Baltimore as well. Oh, Philly had one too. They used to be everywhere. The plants used to be everywhere, and I can only assume that they had the plants everywhere when it was harder to transport sugar, I guess. I don't know. But like most of the plants have closed, but you still get all of the sugar. I don't know about Hoboken as well. I'm not really sure. I don't know. I just know that I like it. And yeah, I mean, you see Domino's sugar everywhere, and I have 3 Domino's sugar boxcars, and then Micro Trains made I forget what the series was exactly called, but it was a set of like 8 tank cars, and they were called their like Sweet series or something like that. So they're a bunch of tank cars with like sweet sugar company names or something like that. So I'll have tank cars, and I'll have those 3 box cars to service the Domino sugar plant. Spreckles, I don't know about Spreckles. Hoboken had a big coffee mine. Hoboken used to be a huge industrial area. So, yes, there is a Domino tank car as well. I haven't been able to find a good version of it, but yeah. You only have Domino's pizza there. They don't ship Domino's sugar all the way to Australia. It would be pretty funny if they did, actually. Should we get into, okay, right before we get into the painting, I do want to show something because, oh, Intermountain makes a Domino. Oh, it's HO scale then? Maybe. I'm not so sure. Nathan's going to be a bunch of random stuff. Nothing specific. So one thing that I was working on is I got some of these MP5 switch motors, and I showed these off the other on a previous live stream because you can see the size difference, right? So this mounts like that, and this mounts like this. So you can see this is about 2.5 inches, and this is 3/4 of an inch. And I got these because they're going to fit really well in my bridge area. The problem, though, is look at how far this connector sticks out on the side. And I just thought that is pretty darn insane how far that connector sticks out. So I started looking into options as to what I could do to make that shorter. I could get in there and pull this whole black block off and like solder things in there. So I am not that good at soldering. So what I figured out is I would disconnect this connector, get rid of that connector, and then I'm going to use these breadboard wires. I don't know if anybody's done any prototyping, but these are pretty common for prototyping and stuff like that. But they've got this little small hole in here, and they've got the pins here, and it's not a perfect fit. Like it's not like this isn't a commercial solution, I would say, but it works pretty well. And I need to do everything I want to do. I need 9 wires, so I'm gonna connect up 9 of these wires. If I can make this happen, I would be very happy. But of course, I'm fighting a couple of them because I'm trying to do this live on camera. And I just realized too, I never turned this light on. I could have turned this light on and made things a little bit better. So yeah, so I got so I've got these now plugged in, right? And you can kind of see, if you line them up, that the wires that would need to come out of this would start further out. And what this is going to enable me to do is it gives me a much, not a much, but it gives me a little bit, just a little bit, enough of a smaller distance that I can mount these and have them be slightly lower profile. This is a short one that I had, and Mike, I don't know what's going to happen, but I got these that are much longer. so that I can use them, but I'll tear them, I'll split them off so that I can have, sections of 9 that are all the same colors. So I'll use all the same colors and stuff like that. And we'll, I'll make these little things, and then this is going to go in the area. I don't think you can see, you can't really see it because it's laying up against the wall here. But so this area here has some skinnier areas, and I want to use these turnout motors in some of these skinnier areas. So having the wires take up less space is going to be very. I'm looking at the wrong camera. Having the wires take up the less space is going to be very, very helpful. So that's one of the things that I have, quote unquote, solved recently. And hopefully I will be able to find my the turnout controller that I'm going to use for these, and I will hopefully be able to get those wired up along the same times that I get all of these cobalts wired up. So that will be fun. Yeah, Arduinos, Raspberry Pis are good. I'm not red anymore. Yeah, oh, because I switched this camera. I have fixed the white balance because I didn't want it changing as the background lights changed. I want it to look right on my face. I just set it completely wrong. James, I don't have any buildings on. I don't have any buildings in that area. It's that's going to be all bridges, so they're going to be open bridges, so there won't be any areas. Yeah, I hope I don't have problems. Electric liquid paste solder. I'm terrible with solder. I think for what I'm doing, I'm gonna stick with it. Yes, funny that you see that. I do have 2 fire extinguishers here. This one was purchased May 14th of 2021. This one I just purchased recently, August 25th of 23. The reason I got the second one is just because they are pretty small fire extinguishers, but also you're supposed to have your fire extinguishers like checked every once in a while. Instead of getting them checked, I just bought another one because it was $20. So should we start testing some colors so that people can vote on the poll? The colors I got here are XF70. Dark green. We got XF19, which is sky gray, and XF16, which is flat aluminum. If we come back over here, we can see this is what we're looking, this kind of idea. So we'll see. So that area of the layout will be known as Jeff. The one on the far left is darker. This, oh, that's the wrong thing. The green one is slightly darker than the other gray ones. Yes, do the colors so we get rid of the giant blue. Is there a giant blue box? You're talking about this blue box? What I don't have is something good to paint these colors on. I'm kind of looking. I probably should have planned ahead of time to find something that would work really well as kind of like a neutral background color to paint these on, like a what is that thing called? Like a for sale sign or some sort of plastic or something. Of course, I didn't plan ahead the way I should have. So I don't know. Well, is this block of wood neutral enough? Yeah, so the colors are for the Boxcar, right? So I know that green color is XF70. We know that one's gonna be there. The 19 and the 16 are gonna be that. One of those will hopefully be that gray. Oh no, the pull box, I should close that. Yeah, the track plan's fairly neutral, although I kind of still need that. So let's end the poll. We're gonna ignore that poll. I'm gonna start a new poll. don't answer the new poll until I've 16 or XF 19. Don't answer the new poll until after I have shown the colors, because how can you pick until you've seen them? So we got 54 people, so I expect 54 people to vote in the poll. There are 36 likes though. I don't know why there are. I don't know why there. Don't I have a boxcar? Not handy. So the reason I'm testing this now is because there are some other people that are interested in making some of these boxcars now. Unfortunately, I am not going to be making one of these boxcars right now because I am focusing on building a layout, and I want to, spend my time working on the layout and not painting the cars. But I need to choose the color so that other people can kind of get, do. Oh, that wasn't the best idea. All right, so there's the green. Hopefully that'll dry fast enough that we'll be able to actually see the color differences. So let's try, this is the sky gray. Let me write this. So this is going to be 19 on this side, and this will be 16 on that side, right? So we'll try I'm trying to, see now if I put the 16 on that, I'm going to mess it up. Okay, so let's try the 19 first. Oh, here, you know what I can do? I can erase that. Let's see if I can erase that. Or if I'm just going to make it worse. There's a good chance that I'm just going to make everything worse. Well, that's not too bad. That's not the worst thing I've ever done in the world. Okay, so 19. I'm not going to make the door and the rest of it a different color because the railroad company wouldn't paint the door a different color gray than the rest of the car. And yeah, it may look black. The green is very close to black. The idea a little bit was that it was kind of a little bit of a homage to the GG1 Blackjack. So I went for a very dark green. For that color. Sorry, I don't know why I couldn't talk and paint. So that's 19. That actually doesn't look so bad. I thought that was going to be way too dark, but there's a good chance you'll make everything. There's a good chance I will just make everything worse. Now, Andy, you gotta send that to me in Discord, and I will make shirts or stickers up with that. So not Brunswick green. I'm not telling. The GG1 Blackjack was not painted Brunswick green. It was actually painted. The joke or the rumor, I think, is they say it is black, like 50 gallons of black with 1 gallon of green. So I don't have a. Uh-oh. This paint looks like it's, I didn't realize this is actually like metallic. This is actually metallic. I didn't realize quite how metallic this was going to be. There are pieces of metallicness in this. So this is actually going to look, metal-like. Although this is, I don't know if this is a bad bottle or if I just need to keep stirring it, but it's looking, I don't know if you can see that, but it's like a big blob. It's just kind of, it's not really mixing in very well. Norman says, I told you 19 would look better. Does the second gray sparkle? I think it might. Although I'm doing a terrible job mixing it right now. Now I wish I had one of those like Badger mixer things. And I think I lost the felt that used to be on the tip of this. I think I have now lost in here somewhere. So at some point I'll have to find that because that seems to be completely gone now. So let's see. We're gonna keep mixing, keep mixing. Keep mixing. All right, it's getting better. It's getting better. Is everyone excited watching paint dry? Is this like the best thing ever, watching paint dry? So the goal is just to choose one other color, right? I don't want a bunch of other colors. I just want one other color. I thought, here we go. Yep, I do have another paintbrush type thing. So let's see what this looks like. Yeah, so this really looks, this has an aluminum sparkle to it. Huh. All right, people can start voting. I don't know which one. It's probably really hard to see over the camera. It's not completely dry yet, of course. So he's saying, as per the Boxcar picture, use aluminum on the door and light gray on the sides. It's talking about making the door aluminum and making this the light gray. Red door on some of your Boxcars. Okay, don't use the wrong one. Use the right one. Sparkly, use the sparkly. Santa Fe silver. Its Heath unbottling could be wild. It could be. Sparkle motion. You might want to decant the metallic into a larger can and throw in some shaker balls. All of my shaker balls, all my shaker and all that stuff is still downstairs in a box. Don't read the directions, Heath. They're only for those without imagination. I couldn't agree more. I mean, it says aluminum. It does say aluminum, and it does have that aluminum look to it. So now I don't know. I thought this was going to be like an easy choice, but I don't know. I'm curious if Joey is still here. I'm curious what color he would choose. He's the one that designed that picture, and we talked about that he designed it to look like the aluminum of the older Boxcars, but I do kind of like the matteness of the 19. Oh, so people keep saying okay, 19 for the win, but a lot of people are saying this: 19 for the body and 16 for the door. The hard part with this, I have to look at the cars that I bought. I need to see whether the would be cool. These are acrylic. These are all acrylics. They're all the these are the XF series from Tamiya, and the XF series stands for X stands for acrylic, and the F stands for flat. Oh, I've got these backwards. Let's put it this way. So interesting. Better get 2 more grays to try. So we went through that. I don't know if people who was here, but we went through this whole thing with the green when I was trying to pick the green, and I tried out like 25 different greens. So yeah, if the doors come off, I can definitely do that. I got some I believe they were Atlas PS1 undecorated boxcars is what I got. I don't have my airbrush. That's the other problem, is the airbrush is away right now. I'm gonna assume I could spray both of these. I hope I can spray this aluminum, but you would need yeah, I would need a lot of I would definitely need thinner. And I need thinner, and I need to put on like 5 coats or something like that probably for this to lay down well. You know, so what I'm almost thinking I might do would be I can do the whole car in the X19 gray, and then for the final coat I can put like the X16 on over the door or something like that. So I'm not I'm feeling very indifferent right now. You know, I'm going through, I'm looking at this, you know, looking at those colors there, which is on a screen, so the colors kind of come out differently. But then this is what I'm looking for, something to like prop this up so it's a little closer. But I'm looking at this, and then I'm looking at this. So yeah, we're trying to look at we're trying not to look at the like how well it's laying. We're trying to just look at the pigment itself. So yeah. I could look for just a gray Krylon. That's true. What did so the caboose was XF70. The caboose that John did, which I don't remember where I put. I think it's back behind something over there. The caboose that John did is this XF70. So the XF70 is what I want to go with. The XF70 was chosen because it's or at least it was at one point, the closest to, you know, the green in my logo. So yeah, the metallic does look different when I angle it, which I think might be kind of interesting as well, to have something a little metallic-esque as well. I mean, the boxcars are metal, right? I mean, that is what a boxcar is metal. So I do have some Tamiya thinner. I do also have a ton of IPA as well. The metallic will offset the dark green and pop. So as is usual, at the end of my stream, I have no conclusive results, which is kind of interesting. Backdrop. What are you asking about the backdrop, Dave? Yeah, Devon will catch it later. The green looks great. Yeah, I'm very happy with the green color. Very happy with the XF70. I thought that one of these was gonna be the ticket, but I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Jerry's right. The railroad wouldn't use the metallic paint, but as the paint came off, it would be metallic. I don't know, just pick one and get over it. Yeah, I know. XF53. What is XF53? Tamiya XF53. That's gonna be like a darker one, neutral gray. That one's pretty dark. The reason I didn't choose that one is just because of how dark that one looked. and I thought that that would be too dark. But XF53 or XF20, I don't know. I'm like afraid to like go down this rabbit hole of trying more pink. XF53 is pink. No, I'm actually looking them up on you know, I am looking them up over here on Junction. Well, so I was hoping I would have an answer at the end of tonight's stream, but I think I think I failed miserably. I didn't fail miserably. You only learn by trying. So, hey, Wigwag, if you're in front of your Tamiya collection right now, if you have XF50, or if you have XF70 dark green, and you can paint some XF20 and XF16 and XF19 and XF53. Yeah, no, I know I didn't fail. I'm just joking. But wow, we're at 52% 16 and 48% 19, but only 31 people have voted. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. I didn't fail. I entertained you for an hour, and I didn't blow anything up either. I use a timeless gray that I like to use on a lot of things. Yeah, I was. So part of the reason I wanted to go with a Tamiya with the gray is because I was going with a Tamiya with the green, and my concern was that if I was going to layer them, that sometimes paints from different companies don't or react to. You know, might react to the other colors and stuff like that. So I was trying to pick, the thought was to pick two Tamiya colors that were, or two colors from the Tamiya line. Yeah, I'm leaning towards the 19 as well, but I don't know why of these two, I think I'm leaning towards the 19. But now I'm wondering, maybe I should try the 20 and the 53 and other things. I indecision junction. That is what I should be doing. I don't know. Fantasy scene, why make it pro demo? That's true too. That is true too. Although, you know, I don't want it to look too garish. But yeah. Maybe what actually, didn't you learn anything when you picked the room color? I spent a lot of time picking the room color. I found a neutral gray that looked pretty nice. Yeah, I'm thinking the metallic. I'm thinking similar to what you're thinking, Andy, as well. And yes, absolutely. Heath, Google image search New York City pacemaker and go with that gray silver. I am wondering if anybody knows what gray they used for the New York City pacemaker. That would be the ideal choice for that gray, is to go with that same color. Maybe I should do some research on that and figure that out. But the thing I definitely need to do is probably go to sleep on it and think about it a little bit more. So from the city that never sleeps, farewell, model citizens.
It's all about humanity.